what is critical race theory, and how does it connect or relate to anti-racist education?
Yeah, so just before I start, I'll add something. You're not just teaching anti-racism; you're teaching history, right? And that's the reality of what educators are doing. Now, the difference between anti-racism and history, though they are incorporated in the umbrella of people learning CRT, is that CRT is a very specific framework, right? CRT was created as a framework of understanding how laws, right? For it started out with students in law school, how laws and the judicial system are impacted by racism, influenced by racism, rooted in racism and white supremacy. Like literally, that's how CRT started, and CRT very much is focused on what we can do, not from a sense of like, oh, don't be racist. No, like what we can do literally to undo these laws, to combat these laws, to create structures that are more equitable within the judicial systems. And that's why they're teaching it more times than not to people in law school, or most of the time, as the earliest they teach it is at the collegiate level, like an undergrad. And that still is not something that's taught to everyone. It's an elective, and it's a very rare elective. Usually people are either going to law school or going into education, right? What people are learning in K through 12 is not critical race theory. It's not the framework of critical race theory. It has nothing, it's inherently not tied to critical race theory. Critical race theory aims to combat racism, as does anti-racism, but they are not the same thing. The reality of it is that people took the term because some person at a did a focus group, or hired some marketing agency somewhere to create a narrative around critical race theory that, oh, this is what the Dems are doing. This is what they're teaching the kids. And we can use this because we can be anti-critical race theory, but we can't be anti-racism. Why? Because to be anti-racism is to be what? Pro-racism, right? Like you can't say you literally can't say like, oh, they're teaching history. Let's be anti-history. You can't be anti anything that these teachings actually are. So that's the actual core difference, is that one is a framework for changing laws, developing minds that are rooted in seeing the law through a lens of intersectionality, white supremacy, and racism. And the other things are history and frankly just being better people, right? It's not the same.